Hello, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Barney Strom, and we are playing April 14th, 1914 Red Sox Replay. And this is opening day at Fenway Park in 1914. So we're trying something new here today. First off, we'll be using out of the park baseball, which I have not broadcast before. So it should be interesting. Hopefully, I'll do okay. And if we get anybody to watch, that's even better. Secondly, we're doing our second year of dead ball baseball, which I'm really enjoying. I enjoy the history. I enjoy history, and I enjoy history of baseball, and they go together, which is probably why I'm enjoying doing dead ball baseball a lot more than I have done with the more modern seasons. Anyway, we're going to try 1914. We'll see how it goes. I hope I do okay. If I don't, please forgive me. I'm not an expert at broadcasting, and I've never broadcast a out of the park baseball game, so it may take me a little bit. If I have to make adjustments, I will. If you guys have any suggestions, I'll also accept those and incorporate them in my game. Anyway, let's get started with a little bit of information off the field. Year in review from Baseball Almanac 1914, the American League. The United States finally completed the construction of the Panama Canal. The 51-mile-long waterway ran across the Isthmus of Panama, connecting the Atlantic by way of the Caribbean Sea and Pacific Oceans. After the United States acquired territory in the Caribbean and in the Pacific as a result of the Spanish-American War of 1889, U.S. control over a man-made canal seemed imperative. In 1912, the Panama Canal Act was passed, igniting a protest by Great Britain that was eventually repealed in 1914 through the efforts of President Woodrow Wilson. In the American League, the Cleveland Nats shortstop Ray Chapman stumbled his way into an unwanted record on June 20th after committing 4 errors in the 5th inning during a 7-1 loss to the New York Yankees at League Park 2. Also during the second game of an August 24th doubleheader in Washington, Detroit Tigers pitcher Hooks Dowse combined with 4 Senators aces to hit a record 7 batters for a major league mark that remained unmatched until the 1971 season. In September, the New York Yankees shortstop Roger Peckinpah replaced Frank Chance to become the club's all-time youngest skipper. He was 23 years old and 7th in the 12-year existence. He later went on to win 9 of the 17 games and eventually managed Cleveland in 1928. In the National League, Pittsburgh and New York went head-to-head for 21 innings on July 17th before Larry Doyle's 2-run home run sealed a 3-1 Giants victory over the Pirates. Dobert had also placed 2 sacrifice bunts in the first game after an ankle injury impeded his ability to run. I missed a sentence here. Let's do this again. The Forbes Field Marathon set a major league mark as the longest non-walk game in the history of organized baseball. Brooklyn Dodgers first baseman Jake Dobert tied a major league mark on August 15th after recording 4 sacrifice bunts in the second game of a doubleheader sweep against the Philadelphia Phillies. He also had 2 sacrifice bunts in the first game, which I just mentioned. In 1914, there was a third major league. It was called the Federal League. And in the Federal League in 1914, it was debuted. It was a short-lived league after John T. Powers of Chicago convinced a group of entrepreneurs that the growing popularity of baseball could support a third major league. 8 teams entered the inaugural season with clubs based in Brooklyn, Chicago, St. Louis, and Pittsburgh, as well as Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Indianapolis, which had been the home for AAA teams. All 8 cities constructed brand new ballparks, including the Chicago Whales, who played in what would eventually be known as Wrigley Field. To effectively compete, the owners lured 81 major league players, 18 of which were active, and 140 minor league players, 25 of which were active, into the Federal League Baseball Company. On May 6, Pittsburgh Rebel Ed Lennox collected the only Federal League cycle during a 10-4 win over the Kansas City Packers. And around the league, a joint committee representing both the American and National Leagues voted that a runner touched or held by a coach while rounding third base was officially out, and that coaches could now assist other members of the team, not just the base runners. Pitchers were also allowed to stand on the rubber versus standing behind the rubber until ready to pitch. And base runners were no longer permitted to run on an infield fly. A motion to eliminate the intentional walk was also rejected, along with an attempt to legalize Sunday baseball in Massachusetts. In April, the 25-player limit was suspended in both the American and National Leagues. With uncertainty over who was signed with what teams, it was almost impossible to verify how many players could be on any club's roster at any one time. And on April 22nd, a 19-year-old pitcher named Babe Ruth made his debut in the International League with a 6-hit, 6-0 win for Baltimore over Buffalo. The second batter he faced was Joe McCarthy, the manager he would later play for as a New York Yankee. And finally, in 1914, on July 11th, 1914, Babe Ruth of Boston made his major league debut and pitched a 4-3 win over the Cleveland Naps. During his first at-bat, the mighty Ruth struck out. Ty Cobb also played in 98 games in 1914, not enough to officially qualify for the batting title, but the American League recognized him as batting champion when the season ended. At that point in history, the other percentage leaders, on base percentage and slugging, were not officially recognized. Major League Baseball recognized those who did qualify in those two categories, but continues to respect the historical decisions made by the American League office in the year that it happened. And last but not least, Ray Collins of the Boston Red Sox pitched 2 complete game victories on the same day versus the Detroit Tigers on September 22nd, 1914. That's certainly something that wouldn't happen today. Okay, let's go down to the field for opening day at Fenway Park in Boston. And the Red Sox are on the field. Let's review the players in the outfield. We have Duffy Lewis in left field, Tris Speaker playing center, Harry Hooper in right, Gardner at third, Scott at short, Yerkes at second, Engel playing first, Kerrigan catching, Ray Collins pitching, and here's the batting order for the Washington Senators. Danny Mueller batting first in right field, Eddie Foster at third base batting second, Clyde Milan in center field batting third, Chick Gandil at first base batting fourth, Ray Morgan at second batting fifth, Howie Shanks in left field batting sixth, Eddie Ainsmith catching batting seventh, Jordan McBride at shortstop batting eighth, and the infamous Walter Johnson pitching and batting ninth. Ray Collins is now on the mound, and we're ready to get going in today's game. And we're about to have the first pitch, and away we go. Collins looks in, gets the sign from Kerrigan. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And he walks him, and the first batter in the 1914 season for the Washington Senators is on first base with nobody out. Stepping up to the plate is Eddie Foster. Last year, Eddie Foster batted .247, 1 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Collins checks Mueller at first, gets his sign from Kerrigan. Here's the 0-0 pitch. There goes the runner. There's a strike thrown to second base. And he is out at second base. One down. No balls, 1 strike on Eddie Foster. Collins gets the sign. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Line drive into center field. The center fielder is going to measure it and put it away for the out for the second out of the inning. Coming up to bat, Clyde Milan. He's a .301 hitter last season with 3 home runs, 54 runs batted in. He bats from the left side. Collins is a left-handed pitcher. Collins gets his sign from Kerrigan. Is the 0-0 pitch. And there is a fly ball into center field, and he's going to put it away. The side is retired, and we're going to go to the bottom of the first. The score, Washington 0, and the Red Sox coming to bat. Here we go. Here in the bottom of the first inning, here's the Red Sox lineup. Harry Hooper batting first in right field. Clyde Engel at first base, batting second. Tris Speaker in center batting third. Duffy Lewis in left batting fourth. Larry Gardner at third batting fifth. Steve Yerkes at second, batting sixth. Everett Scott playing shortstop, batting seventh. The manager, Bill Kerrigan, catching, batting eighth. Ray Collins is the starting pitcher. He's batting ninth. In the outfield for the Senators, Shanks, Milan, and Muller in the outfield, left to right. In the infield, we have Foster, McBride, Morgan, and Gandil. Ainsmith catching. Walter Johnson pitching. Hooper steps in. Hooper last year batted .288, 4 home runs, 40 RBIs. Walter Johnson gets the sign from Ainsmith. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And there is a fly ball in the center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. And Harry Hooper opens up the 1914 season for the Red Sox with a base hit in the center field. Coming up second, Clyde Engel. Clyde Engel batted .289 last season, 2 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Hooper at first base. Engel looking out at Johnson. Johnson gets his sign from Ainsmith, checks the runner. Here's the 0-0 pitch. There goes the runner, and he is going to be out by a mile. Harry Hooper is caught stealing, and just like the Senators in the first inning, the first runner got on, and he is thrown out at second. 1 down, 1 ball, no strikes to Engel. Johnson has the sign. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's another fly ball in the center field. The center fielder backing up, but it's going to drop in front of him. There's a double as the runner runs into second base and slides. He's safe. Walter Johnson gives up a double to Engel here in the bottom of the first inning, and the Red Sox, although having their runner thrown out at second on the steal, have a runner on second base in scoring position with only 1 out. Milan, the center fielder, picked up that ball. It looked like he misjudged it a little bit and allowing Engel not only to get on, but to have a double. Okay, Johnson now will face Tris Speaker. Tris Speaker, a .363 hitter last year with 3 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Johnson checks Engel at second, looks in at Ainsmith for the sign. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Speaker, and there's a base hit. Looks like at the left field. No, the left field is coming in, and he makes a great catch. Shanks coming in on that ball, and he caught it on his shoestring as the runner goes back to second base as Engel's on second, and now there's 2 out, 2 down. Engel's still on second base, and Johnson's going to face Duffy Lewis, who hit .298 with no home runs, 90 runs batted in last season. Walter Johnson last year had 36 wins, an incredible season with only 7 losses. He had a 1.14 ERA, a typical dead ball ERA for a top pitcher. Okay, Johnson gets his sign from Ainsmith. Checks on Engel at second. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to short. McBride up with it over to first for the out. And Boston fails to score here in the bottom of the first. At the end of 1, there's no score. Here we go, top of the second inning. Gendel, Morgan, and Shanks due up for the Senators. Collins looks in at Gendel. Gendel, a .318 hitter in the 1913 season with a home run, 72 runs batted in. Collins has the sign. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And there's a ground ball to short. Scott up with it. Over to Engel at first. There's one down. Ray Morgan due up. Ray Morgan, a .272 hitter in 1913. No home runs. 57 runs batted in. Collins looks in at Kerrigan for the sign. And here's the pitch to Morgan. He bunts towards first base. Engels picked it up, throws to the second baseman covering first, and he is out. 2 up, 2 down for the Senators. Howie Shanks, .254 hitter last season, a home run, 37 RBIs. He steps in against the left-handed throwing Collins. Collins last season was 19-8 with a 2.63 ERA. Collins has the sign. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Shanks. And hits a fly ball into right field. It's going to be caught by Hooper, and the Senators go down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. At the end of 1.5, there's still no score. Okay, here in the bottom half of the second inning, we have Gardner, Yerkes, and Scott due up. Gardner in 1913 batted .281, no home runs, 63 runs batted in. He's a left-handed batter. Johnson gets the sign from Ainsmith. Here's the 1-0 pitch. He swings away. That's a fly ball in the left field. The left fielder backing up. And it's going to be off the wall. Oh, just missed it. And he's going to slide into third base with a triple. And Larry Gardner starts off the bottom of the second inning, hitting a triple off the left field wall. That ball looked like it could have been caught. Shanks just missed it as it hit just above his glove, bounced away. He had to chase the ball down, and that's why Gardner is on third base with a leadoff triple. Red Sox threatening to score the first run of the game as Steve Yerkes steps in, batting .267, 1 home run, 48 runs batted in. Walter Johnson checks Gardner at third base. Looks in, gets the sign. Is the pitch. There's a bunt. It's towards first base. The runner's going to score. Yerkes is out 3-4, and the Red Sox lead 1-0. Larry Gardner's credited with a sacrifice bunt and an RBI. Everett Scott up. Scott did not play last season. He is the shortstop in his rookie year for the Red Sox. Johnson now has 1 out, nobody on, gets the sign from Ainsmith. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Scott. He hits a line drive into right field. It is going to drop in front of Muller for a base hit, and Scott gets a first hit, his first time up in the major leagues. Scott on first base, Bill Kerrigan stepping in. He is the player manager. Last season he hit .242, no home runs, 28 runs batted in. Johnson's got a runner on first. He trails 1-0. Red Sox have 4 hits in 1 1/3 innings. Johnson gets the sign from Ainsmith. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and there is another blooper into right field, but this time Muller's going to get under it. He's going to put it away, and there's 2 outs. Shallow fly ball into right field, 2 down. Ray Collins stepping in. Collins batted .150 in limited action last season. He only got up 80 times, and that would make sense as a pitcher with 12 hits, but he did hit a home run and knock in 6 runs. Scott taking his lead off first. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Muller coming in, puts it away for the out. And the Red Sox are out in the bottom of the second inning. At the end of 2, Boston Red Sox 1, Washington Senators 0. Here we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Collins will face Ainsmith, McBride, the catcher, and the 9th hitter, Walter Johnson. Ainsmith in 2000. In 1913, hit .214 with 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. Collins has the sign. Here's the pitch. He hits a line drive in the left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Lewis up with it. He's going to throw the ball in to the infield, and Ainsmith is going to hold it first with a single. Lead runner on for Washington. George McBride, the shortstop, due up. He's a .214 hitter last season with a home run, 52 runs batted in. Collins checks Ainsmith at first, gets his sign. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a pop-up in the infield. First baseman's got it for the out. 1 down now in the top of the 3rd. Runner on first. Walter Johnson up. Walter Johnson is a good hitter. Last season, he batted .261 with a couple of home runs, 14 RBIs. Ainsmith on first. Collins gets his sign. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and there's going to be an attempted bunt, and it's going to be foul. 2 strikes on Walter Johnson. Collins has the sign. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he's going to bunt it again. It's going to be right back to the pitcher. He's going to throw to first, and the sacrifice works as Ainsmith goes to second. There's 2 down now with a runner on second base for the Washington Senators here in the top of the 3rd inning. Collins checks Ainsmith at second, looks in to Kerrigan to get his sign. Muller's up. Last season, he was a .236 hitter with 5 home runs, 52 RBIs. Here's Collins' 0-1 pitch, and there's a line drive in the left field. Lewis, it's over his head. The run is going to score. Muller is going to walk into second base standing, and he has a double. And Washington has now tied the game here in the top of the 3rd. It's 1-1. Muller in second base. Eddie Foster due up. He's 0 for 1 today. Last season, he batted .247. Collins checks Muller at second. There's 2 away. He looks in at Foster. Ground ball into center field. Center field has got it. Tris Speaker's going to throw home. And he is out at the plate as Tris Speaker throws the runner out at home. And that's the end of the half inning as the Red Sox avoid dropping behind 2-1. And the Senators do not take a lead at the end of 2.5. It's all tied at 1. That was quite a play, as Tris Speaker was able to throw out the runner at home plate. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, all tied up at 1. Hooper, Engel, and Speaker due up, who just made that last play. That was a fabulous play at home plate. Walter Johnson's given up 4 hits today with 1 run. Harry Hooper's 1 for 1 on the day. He singled his first time up. Johnson has the sign. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And there is a line drive into right field. Muller's came in on it, and ball went over his head. Hooper is rounding second. He's going to third. He is going to slide into third base easily. He is going to have a triple with a misjudged fly ball by Muller in right field for the Senators. And for the 2nd inning in this game, the Red Sox lead off an inning with a triple. Excuse me, I'm going to get a sip of water here. Engel's up. He also singled his first time up. Engel hit .289 last year with 2 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Hooper on third represents the go-ahead run. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to third. It's going to be over to first for the out. The runner's going to score as Foster throws to Gando for the out. Red Sox take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1 down. Tris Speaker coming up. Speaker had that wonderful throw to home plate to throw out the runner and prevent the second Washington run in the top of the 3rd. He now steps in against Washington. He's 0 for 1 today, batting .363 and .213. Johnson has the sign. Here's the pitch. He hits a fly ball into right field. In comes Muller. He's going to put it away for the out. 2 down. Duffy Lewis, the left fielder, stepping in. 0 for 1 today. .298 hitter in 1913. I keep saying 2013. You'll have to forgive me. I'll get out of that habit when I broadcast a few more of these 1914 games. Johnson gets the sign. There's nobody on. Here's the pitch to Lewis. He hits a fly ball in the center field. Center fielder is not going to catch it because it was a pop-up to the second baseman, as I misjudged where that ball went. And that's out number 3. And like I said, this is my first game broadcasting with out-of-the-park baseball. I'm going to have to get used to following those shadows. That ball was a pop-up to second at the end of 3. Red Sox lead 2-1. Here in the top of the 4th inning, here in opening day 1914. See, I got it right this time. Milan, Gandil, and Morgan due up to face Collins. Milan's 0 for 1 on the day, hit 301 in 1914. I'll stop saying that eventually. Okay, Collins has the sign. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And there's a fly ball in the left field. Hooper puts it away for the out. Lewis puts it away for the out. The other thing in out of the park baseball, the outfielders are not labeled like they are in Action PC, so I'm going to have to get used to memorizing the outfielders. That's Duffy Lewis in left field. For the Red Sox, there's one down here in the top of the fourth inning. Chick Gandil stepping in. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He hit .318 in 1913. See, I got it right that time. Collins gets the sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And there's a fly ball in the right field that's deep. That is going to be into the corner. It's off the wall. Gandil's rounding first, on his way to second. He slides with a double as Hooper gets the ball in quickly, but not in time. And the Senators are in business with the tying run on second base with one out. Collins looks back at Gandil, who takes his lead off a second. Ray Morgan 0 for 1 on the day, batted .272 in 1913. Collins has the sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to third. Over the angle at first. They got him for the out. Runner advances to third base. There's 2 away. Gandil is on third. He represents the tying run. Howie Shanks steps to the plate. Shanks 0 for 1 today. Batted .254 in 1913. Collins looks at Gandil. Gets his sign from Kerrigan. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And he strikes him out. And the runner is stranded on third at the end of 3.5. Red Sox lead 2-1. Okay, here we go. Bottom of the fourth inning for the Red Sox. Due up for the Red Sox, Gardner Yerkes and Everett Scott. Gardner's 1 for 1 today. Last season batted .281. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And there's a fly ball in the center field. Going to be put away for the out. Milan puts it away, and there's one down. Yerkes stepping in. No official at-bats on the day. He sacrificed in his only time at bat, knocking in the Red Sox first run. He batted .267 in 1913. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that is a fly ball in the center field. It's deep. It's off the center field wall. Milan's going to take it on the bounce. He's going to throw it into second, but it's going to be too late as Steve Yerkes has doubled off the center field wall, just missing a home run. Red Sox have a runner in scoring position. They're in business for Everett Scott, who's 1 for 1 today. He got a first hit. He got his first hit in the major leagues, his first time at bat. Walter Johnson checks the runner at second, gets his sign. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a fly ball in the right field that's going to drop in front of Moeller for a hit. Scott is going to hold at first. The runner is going to hold at third. And the Red Sox have runners on first and third. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. Bill Kerrigan, who's 0 for 1. He's also the manager of the team, stepping in. Johnson has runners on first and third. One out. They hold a 2-1 lead. Johnson looks in at the catcher, has the sign. Here's the pitch. There's a bunt right back to the mound. They're going to throw home. The runner scores. He's safe at home. Everett goes to second. Kerrigan's on first, and that did not work. Washington, instead of throwing for the easy out at first base, they were able to not only score a run, the Red Sox, but they now have runners on first and second and still only one out. Scott's at second, Kerrigan's at first, Collins stepping in up to the plate. Red Sox leading 3-run here in the bottom of the fourth. Collins 0 for 1 on the day. Johnson checks the runners. Here's the sign. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's another bunt. It's right back to Johnson. He's going to this time throw out Collins at first. Runners will advance to second and third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Red Sox have a run in. They have 2 more in scoring position. Walter Johnson now faces the top of the order, Harry Hooper, who is 2 for 2 today, stepping in. Johnson has the sign. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He hits a fly ball deep into center field, but it's going to be caught by Milan, and that's going to be the inning for the Red Sox. They do score a run, and as we go to the top of the 5th inning, Red Sox lead 3-1. It's a little different broadcasting out of the park baseball. It's not quite as easy as Action PC or PC Replay baseball, but hopefully as the season progresses, I'll get used to it. At the top of the 5th inning here, as I take a sip of water, we're going to have the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters up for the Senators, Ainsmith, McBride, and Johnson. Ainsmith's 1 for 1 on the day, batted .214 last season. Collins gets his sign. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a line drive in the left field that's going to drop in for a hit. Lewis picks it up, throws in to the shortstop. Ainsmith is on first base, and Washington's in business with the leadoff runner on first with nobody out. Collins rubbing up the ball. McBride stepping in. McBride's 0 for 1 on the day, batted .214 in 1913. Ainsmith takes his lead. Collins gets his sign. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he hits a line drive in the left field. The left field is coming in. Lewis is going to put it away for the out. Ainsmith's going back to first, and there's one down here in the top of the 5th inning. Walter Johnson stepping in. Walter Johnson, the pitcher batting 9th, is a good hitter. Hit .261 last season. And he has no official at-bats here in this inning. In this game. Collins checks Ainsmith at first, gets the sign from Kerrigan. Here's the pitch, and he's going to bunt right back to the mound. Collins throws to Engel at first base. Runner goes to second. 2 away, runner in scoring position for the Senators. Ainsmith is on second. Danny Muller's 1 for 1 today, stepping in. .236 hitter in 1913. Collins checks the runner, gets the sign. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and he strikes him out. And it's halfway through the game, at the end of 4.5, Red Sox lead 3-1. Here we go in the bottom of the 5th. Engel, Speaker, and Lewis due up. Walter Johnson's allowed 3 runs, 7 hits. All 3 runs are earned. For a guy with a 1.14 ERA last season, his 6.75 ERA is pretty bloated. Engel 1 for 2 on the day. That's on the right side. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And there's a pop-up in the infield, in foul territory. Engel puts it away for the out. One down, top of the order. Foster is up. Excuse me. Speaker is up. I'm doing really good as I'm got the wrong teams going, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm glad there's not a lot of people listening as Legends checks in to catch my mistake. Hi, Legends. Nice to see you. Anyway, Johnson now is going to face Speaker with one down here in the bottom of the fifth inning. I think the best thing to do is when you screw up, admit your mistake and move on. Here's Johnson's pitch to Tris Speaker. It's 0-1 pitch. Speaker hits a line drive into right field. It's going to be caught for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the fifth. I must admit, though, I am having somewhat of a difficult time following the ball here on Out of the Park Baseball, so I think I'm going to have to practice a little bit more than I have. As Duffy Lewis steps in, he's 0 for 2 in the day, batted .298 in 1913. Johnson has 2 outs, nobody on. Lewis bats from the right side. Johnson throws from the right side. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Lewis. And he hits a fly ball to center field. Milan puts it away for the out. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Sox in the bottom of the fifth. We go to the top of the sixth inning, 3-1 Boston. Top of the sixth inning, the Senators will send up Foster, Milan, and Gandil. Collins today pitched 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 run, struck out 2, and walked 1. Eddie Foster, his 1 for 2 on the day, a .247 hitter in 1913. Here's Collins. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be a ground ball to second base. It's up with it over to first for the out. 1 up, 1 down. Clyde Milan stepping in. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Last year he batted .301. Collins gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Fly ball into center field. Speaker under it, puts it away. 2 away. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the sixth inning is Chick Gandil stepping in. 1 for 2 on the day, batted .318 in 1913. Collins gets the sign. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he takes strike 3 called, and that's the end of the inning. At the end of 5.5, Boston 3, Washington 1. We're going to the bottom of the sixth inning. It's a good game, 3-1 Boston. Walter Johnson has not been his usual unhittable self, but it's been a good pitching duel as Larry Gardner is going to step in, followed by Steve Yerkes and Everett Scott. Gardner 1 for 2 today, batted .281 in 1913. Johnson gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Going to be a ground ball to first base. It's going to be a great play. He's going to flip it to Johnson, covering first, and Gardner's out. 3-1. 1 down here in the bottom of the sixth. Johnson to face Yerkes, who's 1 for 1 today. He batted .267 in 1913. Johnson gets his sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's going to be a fly ball between the left fielder and the center fielder. That's going to drop in. It's going to roll almost to the wall. Speaker's got it. Johnson's going to end up allowing Yerkes to double, and he's going to be on second base with 1 out as Johnson allows his 8th hit. Like I said, Johnson is not his usual unhittable self today. Yerkes at second base, 1 away. Scott, who's 2 for 2 today, he's been up 2 times in the major leagues. He has 2 hits. Johnson checks Yerkes at second. gets his sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball to third. Over to first for the out. Yerkes is going to third. 2 outs. Runner on third base for the Red Sox. It was a good play by Foster at third base. With a 3-run lead, Boston looking to extend it to 4-1 as Kerrigan steps in, 0 for 1 today. A .242 hitter in 1913. Johnson glances at Yerkes at third, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. He walks him. It's an intentional walk because they want to face Ray Collins, the pitcher, who is a 150 batter. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Kerrigan at first, Yerkes at third. Collins stepping in. Here's the pitch by Johnson. It's a pop-up to first. And Gando puts it away for the out. And although Johnson allowed runners on first and third with 1 out, he gets out of the 6th without allowing a run. As we go to the top of the 7th, Boston 3, Washington 1. Ray Morgan due up, followed by Howie Shanks and Ains Smith, the catcher. Collins, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. Morgan's 0 for 2 in the day. In 1913, he batted .272. Collins has the sign. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a line drive, base hit into center field. Speaker up with the ball, throws it in. Ray Morgan on first. Washington's in business with the leadoff runner on. And Howie Shanks due up, who's 0 for 2 on the day. In 1913, he batted .254. Collins checks Morgan at first, gets the sign from Kerrigan. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and there's another base hit into center field. The runner is going to hold at second base. And the Senators have runners on first and second, nobody out. They're in business here in the top of the 7th inning. Ray Collins allowed both Morgan and Shanks to get on singles as Eddie Ainsmith, who's 2 for 2 today, steps in to face Collins. Collins is on the rubber, checks the runners. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a bunt right back to the pitcher. He's going to throw Ainsmith out at first. Runners will advance to second and third in scoring position. There's 1 out. 2 runners on second and third. A base hit will tie the game as George McBride, 0 for 2 today. A .214 batter steps in against Collins. Morgan at third, Shanks at second. Collins looks over at the runners, gets his sign from Kerrigan. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball to first. He throws home. He is safe at home. The runner scores. The batter's safe at first. And Washington cuts into the Red Sox lead 3-2. But more importantly, there's still only 1 out with a runner in scoring position for the Senators. McBride is on first as he reaches on a fielder's choice. Shanks advances to third. Collins now will face Walter Johnson, the pitcher. 1 away. Johnson is a good hitter. He has no official at-bats today. He did hit .261 in 1913. Collins checks the runners. Here's the pitch. There's a bunt. Kerrigan picks it up, throws to first. The runners hold. The Red Sox are able to get the second out without allowing the tying run to score. McBride does go to second, however. Okay. Danny Muller's due up, batting .500 on the season. 1 hit and 2 times at bat. Last year he had .236. 5 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Collins trying to get out of this without allowing the tying run to score. He glances at McBride at second. He glances at Shanks at third. Gets his sign from Kerrigan. Here's the pitch. It gets away from Kerrigan. It's a pass ball. The runner's going to score, and the game is all tied up as McBride slides into third base with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. A pass ball is charged to Kerrigan, and the score is now 3-3. Collins looking in to get the sign, looks over at McBride to make sure his lead isn't too big. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Muller walks. Runners will be on first and third, 2 away here for the Senators here in the top of the 7th. Eddie Foster stepping in, batting .333. Last year he had 1 home run, 41 runs batted in. Collins checks the runners, gets the sign. Muller's going to second base, and the throw is too late. He is safe at second with a stolen base. Muller at second now, both runners in scoring position. A base hit by Foster will bring in 2 runs. Collins gets the sign from Kerrigan. Here's the 2 pitch. It's a ground ball to first base. He's up with it, takes it himself at first, and Engel makes the out. Here we are in the bottom of the 7th inning, all tied up, 3 apiece. Collins on the mound for Boston, Johnson on the mound for the Senators. Chris Slovak checks in. Hi, Chris. How's everything going? Well, that's interesting. April 14th, the year before, the president attended the game. What setting did I use for the display of info? I am using the classic 3D view instead of the modern 3D view. It gives me all the stats on the screen like Action PC Baseball. I like seeing it. Gives you all sorts of things here, as you can see. For example, Harry Hooper's due up. It gives me all of Harry Hooper's last year's stats, career stats. And it gives me how he's done with the bases empty, first pitch, innings 7 through 9. I got all that stuff right there in front of me. He's also 2 for 3 today, facing Walter Johnson's pitched 6 innings, allowed 8 hits, 3 runs. Struck out no one today, which is interesting since he struck out 243 batters in 1930, and he's walked 1. Johnson facing Hooper's 2 for 3. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to third base. Foster up with it over to Handel at first. 1 away. Stepping in is Clyde Engel, who's 1 for 3 today. He batted .289 in 1913. Johnson gets his sign from Ainsmith. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And there's a bounding ball to shortstop. McBride up with it over to Gandil at first. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tris Speaker, who's thrown a runner out at the plate today, which is the reason why the Red Sox are tied 3-3 instead of being behind 4-3. He's stepping in, batting left against Walter Johnson. He's 0 for 3 today. Last season, Tris Speaker batted .363, 3 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Johnson gets the sign from Ainsmith. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And it's going to be a bounding ball to first. Gendel's going to pick it up, take it himself to the bag. 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Then we go to the top of the 8th inning. It's all tied up at 3. Let me glance at this. I see something that Christopher Slovak wrote. I'm doing very well at a bombing, but way south in, I can't pronounce it, part of Pakistan. Well, I'm glad you're safe, Chris, and I'm glad I could check in your football game a little later. I didn't have time to watch it this morning, but I will catch that college game this afternoon. And thank you for coming by. Top of the 8th inning. Game all tied. Milan, Gendel, and Morgan due up. Batters 3, 4, and 5 for the Senators. They will face Collins. Pitched 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. Struck out 3, walked 2. Milan stepping in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to short. Scott up with it. Throws over the Engel at first. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 8th. Stepping in, Chick Gendel. 1 for 3 today. Batted .318 in 1913 with a home run. 72 runs batted in. Collins gets the sign. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And there's a bounding ball to third. Gardner up with it over to Engel at first. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning. Ray Collins gets the ball. Steps onto the mound. He's going to face Ray Morgan, who's 1 for 3 today. He batted .272 with no home runs, 57 RBIs in 1913. Collins gets the sign. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And there's a fly ball into center field. Speaker under it, puts it away. 3 up, 3 down, top of the 8th. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, it's all tied up at 3. I think I'm finally used to out-of-the-park baseball, so if you listen to this game after it's done, you're going to hear me mess up quite a bit in the first 4 or 5 innings, but I think I've got a rhythm down. Since this is my first out-of-the-park broadcast, it took a little getting used to after doing PC Replay baseball for 6 months and Action PC baseball for a couple of months. This game is a little different, but I think I finally got it down. Walter Johnson will face in the bottom of the 8th inning Lewis, Gardner, and Yerkes, batters 4, 5, and 6, the heart of the Red Sox order. Duffy Lewis, 0 for 3 today. He hit .298 in 1913. Walter Johnson pitched 7 innings, allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, struck out no one, walked 1. Here's the 0-0 pitch. And there's a ground ball up the middle. It's going to be stopped as McBride could stop the ball, but he cannot come up with it to throw to first. And Duffy Lewis gets his first hit of the 1914 season. The leadoff runner for the Red Sox is on first base with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. That was a great stop by McBride. He just could not come up with that ball in time to throw to first. Gardner, the third baseman for the Red Sox, stepping in, 1 for 3 on the day. A .281 hitter in 1913. Lewis is at first. Gardner is at the plate. Johnson checks Lewis at first. Here's the pitch. Duffy Lewis is going to second base, and he's just going to walk in, no throw. It's amazing the Senators allowed Lewis to walk into second base without a throw. He is the potential go-ahead run on second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Gardner has no balls and 1 strike on him. Johnson gets a sign, checks the runner. Here's the intentional walk. They've decided to intentional walk Larry Gardner. There'll be runners on first and second as they're setting up the double play. Steve Yerkes is 2 for 2 today. He has an RBI. He batted .267 in 1913. He has a chance to put the Red Sox in front in this game. With nobody out, I'll be stunned if he doesn't bunt. Johnson checks the runners, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a double steal. It was called strike, and both runners steal. Lewis steals third. Gardner steals second. Ainsmith is not being able to keep these runners on. And unbelievably, the Red Sox have stolen their way to runners on second and third here with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th inning. That is dead ball baseball. And that is something I wouldn't have done if I was a manager of the team. I did manage the 1912 Red Sox season, which I did last season. I did not do well. The Red Sox, who won in real life the American League by 12 games, I finished 20 games back of the Philadelphia A's. I think one of the reasons I did that is because I managed a lot of the games, and as a dead ball manager, I had a lot to learn. Well, in Out of the Park Baseball, I'm taking a page out of Beatles' book. I am letting the computer manage both sides. Therefore, I'm going to avoid the rookie mistakes as a manager, and that is not a play I would have called. Infield in for the Senators. There's nobody out. Yerkes looks out at Johnson. Johnson gets a sign from Ainsmith. And is a balk that is unbelievable. The great Walter Johnson balks the go-ahead run across in the bottom of the 8th inning. Yerkes scores. Gardner goes to third. The Red Sox lead 4-3, and that could be the definition of small ball. The Senators still play the infield in with a runner on third and nobody out. I cannot believe it. Walter Johnson can't believe it, but that was a balk. Johnson looks in at Ainsmith. He gets the sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to third. The runner at the plate is out at home. And the third baseman, Foster, throws out Yerkes at third base. The Red Sox, Yerkes is at first. He threw out whoever the runner was, and you're going to have to forgive me because I have forgotten. The runner is thrown out at home. Let's do the replay, and I'll tell you. There's the ground ball to third. And there's the play to the plate. He is out at home, 5-2. Yerkes goes to first base. Red Sox still have a lead. There's one out. There's a runner on first. Johnson still pitching. Everett Scott, 2 for 3 today in his rookie game. Here's the pitch by Johnson. There goes Yerkes. He is going to be out by a mile. All of a sudden, Washington has 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Red Sox had runners on second and third, nobody out. They did manage to score a run on a balk, but there is no one on for Everett Scott. Johnson winds. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And there's a fly ball deep to right field. That is going to be over Muller's head. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Muller's going to go into second standing with a double. Scott is going to go into second standing with a double. And the Red Sox have a runner in scoring position with 2 away. If Yerkes had not tried to steal second, which I wouldn't have done if I was managing, he would have scored. But the AI giveth and the AI taketh away. Scott on second base. The manager, Kerrigan, up. He's also the catcher. He 0 for 1 today, batted .242 in 1913. Scott's at second. Johnson's got the sign. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, center field. Milan puts it away for the out. And the Red Sox go ahead 4-3 here in the bottom of the eighth as we go to the top of the ninth inning. Red Sox lead 4-3. Well, Red Sox have a lead thanks to Walter Johnson balking in the go-ahead run as I take a sip of water here. At the top of the ninth inning here, the bottom part of the Senators' order, hitters 6, 7, and 8 due up. Shanks, Ainsmith, and McBride. Collins, looking for a complete game, has allowed 7 hits, 2 runs. Shanks stepping in, 1 for 3 on the day, batted .254 in 1913. Collins has the sign. Here's the 3-0 pitch. He walks him. That is never a good sign when you walk the leadoff runner with a 1-run lead in the ninth inning. Ainsmith due up. He's 2 for 2 on the day, batted .214 in 1913. Shanks on first. Collins checks the runner, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Is going to be a sacrifice attempt right at the first baseman. It's going to be over to second, and he's going to be safe. Shanks is going to go to second. Ainsmith beats out the toss by Engel to Yerkes at second, and now the Red Sox are in bigger trouble than they were just a batter ago with runners on first and second. Nobody out for the Senators. George McBride due up. 0 for 3 on the day. He's a .214 hitter in 1913. Hard to believe, but I bet Collins is going to pitch and McBride's going to bunt. Let's see. Here it is, a sacrifice right back to the pitcher. He's going to throw to first. He's going to get McBride. However, the runners will move up to second and third. Tying run on third for the Senators. Leading run on second in the form of the catcher Ainsmith as pinch hitter Rip Williams steps in, who's hitting for Walter Johnson. In 1913, Rip batted .283 with a home run and 12 runs batted in. Collins looking to bear down here with 1 out. Red Sox playing the infield back. They are going to concede the tying run if, in fact, they can get an out. No, they're moving in now. Here they are. They're playing in. They are not conceding anything. They're going to attempt to get Shanks at home plate. Collins checks the runners, gets the sign from Kerrigan. Here's the 2-1 pitch as a fly ball to center field. Speaker is going to put it away. He's going to throw. The runner's going to hold. And they respect Speaker's arm, who's already thrown a runner out at the plate today. And the Red Sox now have 2 down as the runner on third does not advance. Shanks holds at third with 2 away. Danny Muller doing up. He's 1 for 2 today. Batted .236 in 1913. Collins has runners on second and third. He's 1 out away from a victory. The Senators are 90 feet away from a tie game. Collins has the sign, checks the runners. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and he walks Muller. He's going to go to first. The bases will be loaded. Bases loaded for Eddie Foster, who's 1 for 4, batted .247 in 1913. Collins still has the same predicament he had last batter he had up. The bases are loaded. Shanks representing the tying run on third. Ainsmith representing the go-ahead run on second. Foster 1 for 4 on the day. Collins winds Here's the 2-0 pitch. There's a ground ball to second base. Yerkes drops the ball. The tying run's going to score on an error. And this game is all tied. Well, I could tell you this has been quite a ninth inning. Walter Johnson boxed in the go-ahead run for the Red Sox, and Steve Yerkes boots the ball that would have been the third out in the ninth inning, and we have a new ball game. Clyde Milan due up. He's 0 for 4 on the day. He batted .301 in 1913. Bases still loaded. The Red Sox aren't out of trouble. Collins looks in, gets the sign. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Here's a fly ball in the right field. Harry Hooper under it. Puts it away. And we're going to go to the bottom of the ninth, all tied at 4. Here we are at the bottom of the ninth inning. The Red Sox will send up Collins, Hooper, and Engel. The Red Sox had a chance to end this game at Steve Yerkes booted an easy ground ball to second. That was the first error of the game. In dead ball, it's unusual to have a game without an error. We would have had one if Yerkes had made the play. Collins stepping in, 0 for 2 today. 150 batter in 1913. Jim Shaw pitching now for the Washington Senators. Last year, Shaw pitched 13 innings, allowed 8 hits. He struck out 14, walked 7. He had a 2.08 ERA. He looks in, gets the sign from Ainsmith. Here's the pitch, and it's a pop-up. It's a strikeout. How did I get that? Well, once again, I need to practice with out of the park baseball. I hope everybody will forgive me for some of the mistakes I made, since this is the first time I've broadcast with out of the park baseball. That was a 3-2 pitch, and he struck out the pitcher. One away, bottom of the ninth. Harry Hooper, 2 for 4. Batted .288 in 1913. Shaw looks in at Hooper. Nobody out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And there's a fly ball to left field. Shanks is under it, puts it away. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Tex Age 75 checks in. How are you, Tex? Thank you for coming by. I'm glad you came late. You didn't watch me stumble through how to do play-by-play with out of the park baseball, but I promise to get better in subsequent broadcasts. We have a pinch hitter, Olaf Hendrickson, due up. He's a .375 hitter in 2013 in limited duty. Shaw looks in, gets the sign, nobody on, 2 away. Here's the pitch, 3-2 to Hendrickson. Ball 4. He walks him, and the Red Sox have the winning run on first with 2 away here in the bottom of the ninth. Tris Speaker coming to the plate, 0 for 4 today. He has not hit well, but he's thrown a runner out at the plate, and he intimidated Howie Shanks from trying to score with a fly ball to center field in the ninth. However, it didn't make any difference, as the Red Sox subsequently allowed the run to score, and that's how we got it here to the bottom of ninth, all tied up at 4. Speaker, a .363 hitter in 1913. Hits home plate with his bat, looks out at Shaw. Shaw gets the sign, checks the runner at first. Here's the pitch. And there's a fly ball. It's a pop-up. Third baseman puts it away. The inning is over. We go to extra innings at the end of 9. We're all tied at 4. Well, I'm glad I got an extra inning game. I get to practice my play-by-play. Here in the top of the 10th, Collins is still on the mound. Collins has pitched 9 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, struck out 3, walked 4. He's going to face the heart of the Senators' order, Gandil, Morgan, and Shanks. Gandil 1 for 4 today. Collins winds. He fires. Is the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball to center field. Speaker under it. He puts it away for the out. 1 down here in the top of the 10th. Collins now facing Morgan, who's 1 for 4 also today. Batted .272 in .213. Collins winds. He fires. And there's a pop-up. It's in the infield. Collins calls it himself. He puts it away. 2 up, 2 down. Collins looking good here in the 10th. His status is okay, so he is not tired. Howie Shanks due up. Shanks 1 for 3 on the day. Batted .254 in 1913. Collins looks in, gets his sign. Here's the pitch. And there's another pop-up in foul territory. Angle moving over. He's going to put it away for the out. Out of sight of the camera. And 1, 2, 3. Washington is down here on the top of the 10th. We go to the bottom of the 10th. All tied at 4. Okay, here we go. I got to get my players in order here. Here in the bottom of the 10th, batters 4, 5, and 6. Lewis, Gardner, and Yerkes due up to face Shaw in his second inning of relief. Shaw looks in, gets the sign. Here's the 0-0 pitch. And there's a ground ball to second base. Morgan up with it over to Gandil at first. 1 up, 1 down. Shaw looking good. He's pitched 1 1/3 innings, retired all the batters he faced except 1, who he allowed a walk to. Shaw gets the sign against Gardner. Here's the pitch. Gardner swings and misses. Strike 3. 2 up, 2 down, bottom of the 10th. Steve Yerkes, both a hero and a unhero, or whatever that word is. Hero and a goat. He went 2 for 3 today so far. He's knocked in a run, but he's also booted the 3rd out in the 9th inning to allow this game to be tied. He's a .267 hitter in 1913. Shaw looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And he strikes him out at the end of 10. We're still tied at 4. We go to the top of the 11th inning. All tied up at 4 here in Boston's Fenway Park on April 14th, 1914. Collins, who's going into his 11th inning of pitching, will face the bottom part of the Senators' order, 7, 8, and 9, Ainsman, McBride, and Shaw. Collins gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to center field. Speaker puts it away for the out. 1 up, 1 down. Stepping in McBride, 0 for 3 today. McBride batting .214 in 1913. Collins gets a sign. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And he walks him. The go-ahead run in the form of George McBride, the shortstop, goes to first. Stepping in, a pinch hitter, John Henry. .233 hitter last season with a home run, 26 RBIs. This is his first time up. This season, Collins checks McBride at first. Looks in at Henry, gets the sign from Kerrigan. Here's the pitch. There's a bunt. Back to the pitcher. He's going to throw to first. It's going to be a successful sacrifice. The go-ahead run moves to second. There's 2 outs in the inning with Danny Muller stepping in. Muller 1 for 2 today. 236 hitter, 1913. Muller steps in from the right side. Collins checks McBride, gets the sign from Kerrigan. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to center field. Speaker puts it away. And that's it for the Washington Senators in the top of the 11th. No runs. As we go to the bottom of the 11th, we're all tied at 4. As we go to the bottom of the 11th, the Red Sox are 4 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Senators, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. They played a flawless game in the field. We have Joe Engel coming in to pitch for the Senators. In 1913, he had a 3.06 ERA, 8 wins, 9 losses, pitched 164 innings. For the Red Sox, hitters 7, 8, and 9, Scott, Kerrigan, and Collins do up. Scott 3 for 4 today, and this is his rookie season, his first game. Here's Engel's pitch. It's ball 4. Everett Scott goes to first. He represents the winning run for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 11th as Kerrigan stepping in. 0 for 2 on the day, batted 242 in 1913. Engel checks the runner. Gets the sign from Ainsmith. There goes Scott. He goes to second. He slides safely into second. He has stolen second base. And the Red Sox now have the go-ahead run on second base with nobody out here in the bottom of the 11th. Excuse me 1 second. Need a little sip of water as I'm going into my 11th inning here. Apologize for bumping the mic with my glass. Okay. Engel going to pitch to Kerrigan, who's the manager of this team and the catcher. He's 0 for 2. Batted 242 in 1913. Let's see what the strategy is with Scott at second and nobody out. Engel's got the sign. There's the bunt. Back to the mound. He's going to throw to the second baseman covering. Runner's going to go to third, and the Red Sox have the the go-ahead run and the winning run at third base, 90 feet away with only 1 down here in the bottom of the 11th inning. Collins, the pitcher, stepping in. Be curious to what the AI does here. It looks like it's going to let him hit. I don't know why, but I'm not going to question the AI. Scott at third, 90 feet away from a walk-off win for the Red Sox here on opening day. Engel looks in, checks the runner, gets his sign. Here's the pitch to Collins. Is a fly ball deep to left field. Left fielder dives, puts it away, picks it up, throws to the plate. And I don't believe it. He is out at the plate. Unbelievable. I have never seen an outfielder dive for a ball, stand up, throw a runner out as he attempts to score the winning run. And this is one hell of a game as we go to the top of the 12th inning, all tied at 4. Well, I must say I'm disappointed. Collins hit the fly ball they were looking for, but that runner was thrown out at the plate. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. That was quite a play. And this is quite a game as we're approaching an hour and 25 minutes. I don't know how long it's going to go, and I don't know how long my voice is going to last, but Eddie Foster's due up. Milan Gandil will be following him here in the 12th inning. Collins entering the 12th inning. They're leaving him in. Here's the pitch. And there's a line drive to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Speaker picks the ball up, holds Foster at first. Nobody out. Runner on first for the Washington Senators. Milan due up. He's 0 for 5 on the day. Batted .301 last season. Collins checks Foster at first. Here's the pitch. Is a bunt right in front of home plate. Kerrigan picks it up, throws to first for the out. The go-ahead run moves to second in the form of Foster. Is Chick Gandil stepping in. He's 1 for 5 on the day. He's looking to knock in the go-ahead run for the Senators. Collins checks Foster at second. He gets the sign from Kerrigan. He winds. He fires. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball in the left field. Lewis under it. Puts it away. Runner holds at second as the throw comes into the infield. We now have 2 down. Top of the 12th, Foster still on second base, the go-ahead run, with Ray Morgan, who's 1 for 5 on the day, stepping in. Collins still pitching. He's thrown 144 pitches. And Beatles checks in. I'm sorry you're late, but you're missing a great game. Lousy play-by-play. Beatles, you warned me. Out of the park baseball is a little harder to play-by-play than both Action PC and PC Replay Baseball. I've made a number of mistakes, but hopefully I will get better as the season gets on. April 12th, 1914. Top of the 12th inning. Morgan steps in, 1 for 5 today, batted .272 in 1913. Collins still on the mound for the Red Sox here in the 12th inning. Checks Foster at second. Here's the pitch. He going to intentionally walk him. They're walking Morgan to create a force play as Howie Shanks stepping in, 1 for 4 on the day. Shanks batted .254 in 1913. Senators have runners on first and second, 2 outs, top of the 12th. Collins now looking in for the sign, checks the runners. Here's the pitch. And there it is. Second to first. He's out. The inning is over. As Shanks grounds out to Yerkes at second. As we go to the bottom of the 12th, we're all tied at 4. Thanks for telling me I'm doing a great job, Beatles, but you have to listen to the whole game. I'm doing an okay job. But I did take a page out of your book in order to concentrate on the play-by-play. And until I get to be a better dead ball manager, I'm letting the AI manage both teams, concentrating on the play-by-play. Bottom of the 12th. I don't know how long this game's going to last. It's an hour and a half. If you guys have to go somewhere, I understand. I'm stuck here, but you're not. Okay, for the Red Sox, Les Nunemaker coming up. He will pinch hit for Harry Hooper. I don't know why. I guess it's because Engel is a left-handed pitcher. This entering his second inning of relief. Nunemaker batted .215 in limited duty for the Red Sox last year. Engel looks in, gets the sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a bounding ball to short. He's up with it, throws to first. The ball gets away from the first baseman. Nunemaker's going to second. There is an error on the throw by the shortstop, and the Red Sox are in business with the winning run on second base with nobody out here in the bottom of the 12th inning. McBride just airmailed that ball. Gendel could not handle it. And the Red Sox have a runner on second. Nobody out. Hal Janfrin, the first baseman, he came on as a pinch hitter the last time up in 1913. He batted .207 for the Red Sox. He's walked, I believe he was intentionally walked his first time up. Anyway, Engel, now in a little bit of trouble, checks the runner at second, looks in, gets the sign. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Here's the bunt. The catcher's picking it up. He's thrown it to Gandil at first. They're going to get the runner out at first on a sacrifice. Nunemaker goes to third, And just like the 11th inning, the Red Sox have the winning run on third base with only one out. In the 11th inning, Collins hit a fly ball into left field, which Shanks dove for, made a spectacular play, stood up and threw Yerkes out at home plate for the double play in what I thought was the best play of the game. Tris Speaker having a bad day at the plate, 0 for 5, but he has thrown a runner out at the plate. In 1913, he batted .363, 3 home runs, 75 runs batted in, 71 runs batted in. Nunemaker takes his lead. Engel looks in at Speaker. Here's the pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Nunemaker's going to tag. He's going to be out by a week and a half. And for the second inning in a row, the Senators complete a double play with a attempted score sacrifice at home plate from an outfielder throwing the runner out at the plate. We are going to the top of the 13th inning. The AI makes some good decisions, and I don't think that was one of them. We're all tied at 4 here in the top of the 13th. I don't know what's going to give out first, my voice or the game. I've never seen that twice in 2 innings in a row. All right, Collins is on the mound here in the 13th inning. That surprises me. 146 pitches, but I guess he's got it in him. And Beatles is telling me that was good strategy, so that's why I'm not managing, because that's what the last time I managed a dead ball team, I took the American League champion Red Sox 1912 team to a third place finish, 20 games behind the Philadelphia A's. Ainsmith due up, followed by McBride and the pitcher Engel. They will face Collins, who has pitched 12 innings, allowed 9 hits, 2 runs, struck out 3, walked 6. Collins gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Going to be a ground ball to first. He's going to take it himself. And there is one away. Genvrin takes that ball to first, unassisted. McBride up. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Last season, he was a .214 hitter. Collins gets his sign. Here's the pitch. And there's a fly ball deep to center field. Speaker going back. He will not catch up with this one. Bounce is against the center field wall. McBride is going to hold at second with a double. Speaker is going to throw the ball in. And now the Senators are in business with the go-ahead run on second base with 1 out here in the top of the 13th. Both these teams had numerous chances to either go ahead or win the game here in extra innings. No one's been successful. Collins now has to face the pitcher, Engel, and they look like they're sending him up to plate. What do you think? I bet he bunts. Collins checks McBride at second. Here's the pitch. He's not going to bunt, which is how much I know. He hits a fly ball to center field. Speaker's going to put it away. The runner's going to have to hold. Speaker gets the ball in. There's now 2 away with a runner on second base. That's what I get for guessing. Danny Muller due up. He's top of the order. He's 1 for 3 today. .236 hitter in 1913. I don't know, but this game has been pretty good if you ask me. Can't believe in the bottom of the 11th and bottom of the 12th, both innings end on a fly ball to the outfield, throwing out the winning runner at the plate. Danny Muller due up. Collins looks in. Go ahead run at second. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And he strikes him out swinging. We're going to go to the bottom of the 13th. And we're going to be tied at 4. And I'm going to need more water to keep this going. Okay, we're in the bottom of the 13th inning. Both teams have the same line score, 4-10-1. 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error apiece. Engel entering his third inning of relief for the Senators. He will face Lewis, Gardner, and Yerkes. The heart of the Red Sox order, Lewis, is 1 for 5 today. Batted .298 in 1913. Engel gets the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a bounding ball to third. He's up with it. Throws to first. The ball gets away, and Lewis will be safe. There is an error on the third baseman for a bad throw. That's the second time that's happened in today's game. Red Sox have the winning run on first base. Nobody out. Larry Gardner stepping into the plate. 1 for 4 on the day, .281 hitter in 1913. Lewis is on first. Gardner, left-handed hitter. Engel, a left-handed pitcher. Engel checks Lewis at first, gets his sign. Here's the pitch. There goes Gardner. He is going to slide. He is safe. And Duffy Lewis steals second base as Gardner takes a called strike. Lewis now takes his lead off of second base. He represents the winning run with nobody out. Gardner at the plate. Let's see what Engel's going to do. Will he let him hit or will he walk him? And there's an intentional walk as Gardner goes to first base. Red Sox have runners on first and second. Nobody out. Bottom of the 13th. I think this is the situation they had in the last inning. Yerkes due up. Yerkes 2 for 4 on the day. Like I said, he's both a hero and a goat. Batted .267 in 1913. There was a ground ball hit to him in the top of the ninth inning with a runner on third and 2 outs. He booted it and allowed the tying run to score. And that is why we're here today. Let's see if he can make up for it. Engel has not allowed a hit today. He's walked 2 batters. Gets the sign from Ainsmith. Here's the pitch. It's bunted towards first. They're going to get the batter. Runners will go to second and third. There'll be 1 out. And for the third inning in a row, the Red Sox have the winning run on third base with less than 2 outs. I don't know how long Washington can play with fire here by letting the Red Sox have that winning run on third with less than 2 outs. But they bring the infield in as Everett Scott, in his rookie season, steps to the plate. 3 for 4 on the day. Engel checks the runners. Infield playing in. Engel's pitch. And there's another fly ball in the right field. He catches it. The runner this time holds. There's 2 outs. And I don't blame the Red Sox for not sending the runner. Bill Kerrigan stepping in with 2 outs. The infield can now move back for the Senators. Kerrigan steps in. I think that's a crack up. 2 innings in a row. They send the runner. He's out. And for this time, the AI learned and held the runner. Engel checks the runners. Looks in. Kerrigan's 0 for 2 today. Here's Engel's pitch. And there it goes. It's in the right field. It's a base hit. And the Red Sox win the game 5-4 in 13 innings as the catcher-manager Bill Kerrigan singles in the right field to knock in the winning run. Unbelievable. The Red Sox edge the Senators 5-4 with Bill Kerrigan's run-scoring single. That was a good game. As we go to the box score, finally, the Red Sox 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. The Senators 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. The Boston Red Sox satisfied the home crowd at Fenway Park, treating them to a season-opening win 5-4 over the Washington Senators. Starting pitcher Ray Collins was a standout performer for Boston. Collins got the win, improving to 1-0. He allowed 10 hits, walked 6. Over 13 innings, Collins allowed 4 runs. The Red Sox procured the win in large part because catcher Bill Kerrigan in the bottom of the 13th, he produced the game-winning run-scoring single. It was a solid team effort, said Kerrigan after the game. Something I like about out-of-the-park baseball, you get quotes from the players. As we go over the line score, there were 3 players with multiple hits. Scott went 3 for 5. Yerkes went 2 for 4. Hooper went 2 for 5. For the Senators, Ainsmith 3 for 5. And Foster, the third baseman, got 2 hits. Walter Johnson, who won over 30 games in 1913, pitched 8 innings, allowed 10 hits, 4 runs, all earned, striking out no one, which was unusual, walking 2. While Collins pitched a complete game, 13-inning victory, 10 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, striking out 4 and walking 6. Well, thank you all for joining me for this extra long game, I meant to say. I'm going to click the button to finish today. I'm going to go over and look at the standings, and we will see that the Yankees, Naps, Tigers, and Red Sox all win, while the Phillies, Brooklyn Robins, St. Louis Cardinals, and Cincinnati Reds win in the National League. We'll go over some of those other games as we get into the season. They don't really mean very much at this point in the season. So I want to thank you all for stopping by and watching this 13-inning Red Sox victory over the Washington Senators 5-4. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I hope someone else is going to play some games over the weekend so I can watch on YouTube. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Have a good weekend.